Indeed, Elisif has become Jarl of Solitude. Historically and conveniently home of the High King, backed by imperial interests. But the Moot has not yet met to name her High Queen. And they won't. Not as long as I have any say in it. I challenged him in the traditional way, and he accepted. There were many witnesses, no murder was committed, but that was precisely the point. He was a puppet king of the Empire, not a High King of Skyrim. His father before him, perhaps, but not Torrig. True, he didn't stand a chance against me. He was too privileged and too foolish. More interested in entertaining his queen than ruling his country. I killed Torrig to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself? For too long he's been hand-picked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to imperial coin. It's time we had a real High King, one of our own making. There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. My father, the Great Bear of Eastmarch, died during my imprisonment after the Markarth incident. When finally set free, I returned to Windhelm and was greeted by a city in mourning. At one with my own grief and anger, the throne of Ysgramor, the throne of my father. I only hope I can prove worthy of that honor. I, his only son, forced to deliver his eulogy via letter I had smuggled out of prison. Such is the love of Titus meat for his subjects, clamoring in angry voices, calling out for justice, for war. They sat me on the throne. For the moment we have ceased hostilities. We'll see what these Imperials have to say. I doubt we'll come to any lasting agreement. The gods have granted us peace for the moment, but that won't last long. I'm sure trouble will be stirred up soon enough. I wish more had the dedication and strength of character that you demonstrate. I'll be sure this gets put to good use. Are you sure? It's rightfully yours, but this money could go to getting better weapons and armor and making repairs to the settlements we control. Here you go. Your continued assistance to the cause is appreciated. I almost can't believe it. The Empire has been defeated. The world bears witness to the power and righteousness of the sons and daughters of Skyrim. Soon enough we will march on Solitude, and on that day the heroes of Sovngarde will march with us, and the Empire will fall to its knees in fear. Now that the Empire has been driven from the Reach, we can put a stop to the raping of her silver mines. That silver belongs in Skyrim. The Empire's ravenous hunger for Skyrim silver makes them fierce. But rest assured, we'll win the Reach and wrest it from their greedy paws. Tullius must be getting nervous. Taking Hellmarch, we're practically in his backyard now. As soon as we're able, we'll march on Solitude. We should take Hellmarch. It'll be an important pressure point on the Imperials. We'd be within spitting distance of the capital. We've driven the Imperials out of Whiterun. This is good. Very good. We now control the center. It's a powerful position, one I aim to keep. The Imperials have already dug into Whiterun. We'll wrest it from them soon enough. We must. Its central position is key. I'm proud we liberated Falkreath from the Empire. In many ways, it's the heart and soul of Skyrim, not to mention its rather strategic position. The Empire thinks it holds Falkreath from us, but the souls of Skyrim's bravest are buried there and will fill our hearts and strengthen our blades. Tullius has camps in the Pale, entertaining thoughts of battle. The Empire still underestimates the force of our cause. It will be their undoing. I can't believe we let them take the Pale. Losing the port of Dawnstar is lessened only by the threat of Imperial forces being so close to Windhelm. I'm not sure why Tullius is wasting his time trying to take Winterhold from us. But if he wants to throw his men away, I'll gladly accept that gift. I don't like Imperial troops holed up in Winterhold. Such a close march to Windhelm. So I'm sending a campaign up there to take it back. Damn Tullius. He's pocketed men in the Rift. It's dangerous having Imperials skulking about on the southern border of Eastmarch. Losing the Rift gives Tullius easy access to the south of Eastmarch. Talos preserve us. We must take it back. Multitudes of our enemies are buried in an avalanche of pain and retribution, delivered by your hands. I shall call you Snowhammer now. We do what we do out of love for our brothers and sisters. Here, take this as a token of such love reciprocated. You show great passion for battle, and compassion for those we fight for. You are becoming indispensable to our cause. You've become a true hero of Skyrim. I number you among my kin. You shall now be known as Stormblade. The love of the land and her people flows from your heart, even as death to her enemies flows from your hands. On behalf of the sons and daughters of Skyrim, on behalf of all that is righteous and true, take this token of our appreciation for your service. But I'm disappointed to hear you ran away from the battle. The gods do not reward cowardice, nor do I. I expect better from you. We'll call you Ice Veins now, for the thick blood of our land has seeped into your heart. Here, take this. It's an Imperial officer's sword, a fitting weapon to use against our enemy. Some brothers have taken to calling you Bonebreaker, evidence of your ferocity and determination, a fitting name. So we shall all call you thus. The war demands so much from us, and we give all we have to it and to the people. But I've kept a little something to offer you in appreciation. And I need capable and loyal warriors close at hand. So I'd like to offer you a home in Wendhelm. Speak with my steward, who'll make the arrangements. Please take this on behalf of all the brothers and sisters. I'm glad we finally restored the Pale. It was extremely foolish giving the Empire control of another port. I'm glad we've taken back Winterhold. While the Imperials were up there, important resources were tied up, stiffening our northern border. I'm glad we liberated the Rift. It was dangerous having Imperials skulking about on the southern border of Eastmarch. Not entirely true, though not entirely false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Torg to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him. We've driven the Imperials out of Whiterun. This is good, very good. We now control the center. It's a powerful position, one I aim to keep. You'll be doing whatever Galmar tells you to do, and causing as much mayhem as possible for the Empire and any Jarl who supports them. Get over to our camp in the Reach. They need every able body they can muster. But I also want you to find our hidden camp in Falkreath. Galmar will have special tasks for you, and will need you when we liberate the capital. I suspect you'll be of greater use to us with greater freedom. So you're free to engage the Imperials as you see fit. You'll need it in Hjalmarch. There's much to be done. Get over to our camp in the Pale. It's time we bring them back into the fold. And don't think for a moment I've forgotten it was you that lost us the hold in the first place. Get up to Winterhold. We're going to take it back. I know you thought we weren't losing much when you gave it to the enemy. But I'm wasting my troops guarding the border that belong on the front lines. Make your way to our hidden camp in the Rift. I can't continue to push forward when I'm worried about Eastmarch's southern border. I hold you responsible for this situation, so you better win me back Riften, or die trying. You've no time to glory in your accomplishments. We're gathering for our final assault on Solitude. I need you there. Report to our camp in Haffinger. We're ready to march on Solitude, but the Emperor's cousin is getting married. If royal blood was spilled, all of Cyrodiil would be up in arms. We can't afford an all-out war with the Empire, so we'll bide our time for now. We're ready to march on Solitude, but the Emperor's visiting. The goddamn Emperor! And as much as I like to kill the man myself, we can't risk an all-out war with the Empire. We'll bide our time for now. We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an Empire that won't bleed for us. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else but us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the Empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them. Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents. Is that so? Yes. You were with us at Helgen. I remember you. You were at Helgen with us. Come to join the war. Speak with Galmar. He handles the new recruits. Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you? As you can see, I have much that requires my attention. If you're inclined to gab, there are some nice prison guards you may like to meet. I'm sorry to hear that. If you change your mind, speak with Galmar. What does bring you to me? A fair point. Well, you've come to the right place then. Speak with Galmar. Ah, yes. Raelof's alive? I hope that's true. He's a damn good man, but he hasn't returned yet. So I'll need to wait for his account. For now, speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days, so long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity. We'll welcome you into our ranks. Good. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken. He's a true Nord. He'll come around. I would gladly retire from the world. Were such a day to dawn. Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think? You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message? Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me? Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then? Soon. I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breaths. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must. And what would you have me do? Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not, Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies. Many, I fear, still need convincing. We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts. He knows that. They all know that. They have families to think of. You're alive! I'm impressed. Galmar had his doubts about you, but I knew you'd pull through. You should speak with him. He's going to need your help. You think I need to send Rongar a stronger message? Speak with Galmar. You'll be going on a little errand with him. I believe Galmar gave you something to do, so go do it. A crown doesn't make a king. Fine. I'll send the unblooded here with you. Fancy a crawl through a moldering dungeon to see if you can't stir up Galmar's jagged crown. Tell me again why we're wasting time and dwindling resources chasing a legend. We don't even know it exists. If it even exists. Damn the Jarls. And damn the Moot! You're certain you found it. We should risk letting those milk drinkers put Torrig's woman on the throne? She'll hand Skyrim over to the elves on a silver plate. So you as good as admit you're working for the Imperials. Yet you walk in here and ask to join me. What are you playing at? The Imperials wouldn't have just let you walk away. Remember that. You're not short of guts, are you? What's your game? Why would Tullius waste resources getting the crown, only to give it to me? Poison, perhaps. No, he's not that cunning. All right, I believe you. You aren't the first to turn away from the Empire in disgust. But remember, you're one of us now, forever. Whatever Imperial loyalties you may have had, that's all in the past. Forgotten. Now, to prove yourself to me, I have a task for you. Take my axe and deliver it to the Jarl of Whiterun. Are you now? You were at Helgen, one of the prisoners, although no one seems to know how you got mixed up in that affair. Normally I would have welcomed someone like you, resourceful, clearly no friend of the Empire. But I've had some disturbing reports of you. Seen talking to General Tullius in Castle Dour, for example. So what do you have to say for yourself? How can I be sure you're not an Imperial spy? Yes, an axe. How long have you been in Skyrim? Give the man my axe. If he keeps it, I will bide my time. If he returns it to you, It means war. Men who understand each other often have no need for words. There are but a few simple truths behind one warrior giving another his axe. Buliwyf will know my meaning. Men who understand each other often have no need for words. There are but a few simple truths behind one warrior giving another his axe. Rongar will know my meaning. Keep your wits about you. The Jarl of Whiterun is known for his temper. I'm glad you're here. I have a message I need delivered to the Jarl of Whiterun. Deliver this axe to Buliwyf the Greater. I'm glad you're here. I have a message I need delivered to the Jarl of Whiterun. Deliver this axe to Jarl Rongar. Why are you still here? You're supposed to be at Corvinjon, proving Galmar right or proving him wrong. That's the spirit. I'll get all the details from Galmar when he gets back. Now then, the blood of our fallen heroes will make Skyrim free. Never doubt it. Also, never doubt me or Galmar. Now then, damn it. What were they doing there? Imperial spies are everywhere, never forget that. I trust you gave them a thrashing. Now then, damn him. That old bear was right. Did you run into any trouble? You're right, Galmar. Whiterun is only a means to an end. Is any man ever ready to give the order that will mean the deaths of many? Ha! And I'm sure you could do it too. All right, this is it. So it begins. I'm in no mood to joke. You're certain we're ready. Whiterun's army will no doubt be bolstered with legionnaires. And those walls around Whiterun are old, but they still stand. Send the word. A new day is dawning, and the sun rises over Whiterun. To Whiterun with you. I thought I gave you something to do. Then I commit them to whatever gods they still believe in. Talos be with you. Make haste to our camp in Whiterun. I want you on the front lines. I have a feeling about you. Your place is on that battlefield. I need you there. Fight well or die well. Talos be with you. Oh, what's this? You're quite brave to carry such a message. It's a pity you've chosen the wrong side. You can return this axe to the man who sent it, and tell him he should prepare to entertain visitors. I expect a great deal of excitement in the city of Whiterun in the near future. Sooner than you think. Is that so? I've been wondering when he'd come around. Then I was wrong about him. I have shown the people that when our Jarls drink the Empire's milk, it makes us weak. I must now show them the path that will lead us back to our strength. There is no progress without sacrifice. No wheat without threshing the chaff. The Empire and the Jarls who back them must be swept away. The people demand it. I demand it. Oh, true, I may meet my end in a dark alley with a dagger in my back. But the people have seen the truth, and they will not back down. They will sing stories of this day. I surrender. Give me a few hours to gather my household, and I'll depart. You have my word. Go with the gods. Talos watch over you. Take care. Be careful out there. Keep your brother, and he'll keep you. I'll fight the entire legion myself if they dare show their faces here. I long to be out there with my brothers, waging war against the Empire. Legion soldiers gleam like fresh fallen snow and clank like a kitchen. They head this way, we'll know it, because getting rid of the Empire was only half the problem. There will be peace for a time, during which we must rebuild Skyrim into the land it once was. Strong, self-reliant, the center of mankind. For it will be Skyrim that shall lead Tamriel in those dark days, when the fate of the world is finally determined. Soon the elves will again seek to rule the world. We must ready ourselves to fight them, and that's as it should be. In the darkest days ahead, it'll be us Nords who lead the fight against the elves. Peace. When has any Nord ever known peace? Skyrim breeds warriors. It's who we are. It's in our blood. It'll be Skyrim that leads the charge. Mark my words. And that time around, mankind will either succeed once and for all, or die trying. It's only a matter of time before their pointy ears start itching to rule the world again. What more could I ask of you? No, you're free to roam. I suspect the gods have needs for you elsewhere. That said, some of the Legion's staunchest men have organized themselves, and are operating out of hidden military camps in the wilderness. True sons and daughters of Skyrim reign in every city. We've crippled the Imperial Legion and cut off its head by killing General Tullius himself. If you come across any Imperials in your travels, I expect you'll know what to do. No, not yet. We'll wait for the moot to name me High King. It'll be better for all that way. But that doesn't mean I won't start acting like it. There's much to do. The new Jarls need help building armies and enforcing their right to rule. The Empire may try to reclaim Skyrim, and I need everyone ready for that. Though the biggest threat, of course, is the elves. This is it for you. Any last words before I send you to oblivion? Come, Galmar. Where's your sense of the dramatic moment? It's a little more than a rebellion, don't you think? The Empire, I remember, never surrendered. You just said it yourself. Good point. Maybe not, but you certainly aren't the good guys. Stop! Stop what? Taking Skyrim back from those who'd leave her to rot. Rika, go. You're free to leave. Rika, you don't have to do this. The Empire is weak, obsolete. Look at how far we've come with so little. When we're done rooting out the Imperial influence here at home, then we will take our war to the Aldmeri Dominion. Secure the door. You're also free to die for it. And Elisif, thank you. I thought so too. Well, I suppose some kind of speech is in order. There is much to do, and I need every able-bodied man and woman committed to rebuilding Skyrim. A great darkness is growing, and soon we will be called to fight it, on these shores or abroad. The Aldmeri Dominion may have defeated the Empire, but it has not defeated Skyrim! And it is for these reasons that I cannot accept the mantle of High King, not until the moot declares that title should adorn my shoulders will I accept it. And Eriker, come, Galmar. We've still much work to do. It was you who fought the Thalmor and their puppets who would have us deny our gods and our heritage. And of course, we couldn't have done it without you. May the gods preserve you. But more than that, it was you who fought for Skyrim, for our right to fight our own battles. And indeed, there are many that call us heroes. And indeed, there are many that call me hero. But it is all of you who are the true heroes. I am indeed Ulfric Stormcloak, and at my side the man known as Stormblade, and the world knows as the Dragonborn. I am indeed Ulfric Stormcloak, and at my side the woman we know as Stormblade, and the world knows as the Dragonborn. I am indeed Ulfric Stormcloak. Yes, what about the Lady Elisif? Will she put aside her personal hatred for me, and her misplaced love for the Emperor and his coin, so that the suffering of our people will end? Will she acknowledge that it is we Nords who will determine Skyrim's future? Will she swear fealty to me, so all may know that we are at peace and a new day has dawned? Yes, what about Jarl Eriker? Will he cast aside the Imperial coin falling into his coffers? Will he acknowledge that we Nords deserve to determine our own future? Will he swear fealty to me, that all may know we are at peace and a new day has dawned? I'm not afraid of the remnants of the Legion. In time, they'll all give up and go home. What I fear is that the Thalmor will see our victory here and turn greater attention to our shores. We must be prepared to face them. Oh, I know. Then it is settled. The Jarl will continue to rule Solitude. I will garrison armies here to ward off Imperial attempts to reclaim the city. And in due time, the moot will meet and settle the claim to High King once and for all. To return to our glory and traditions, to determine our own future. It was you who fought a dying empire, who sunk its claws into our land trying to drag us down with it. It was you who fought your kin who didn't understand our cause, who weren't willing to pay the price for our freedom. No, but I belong to her. Let the Dragonborn be the one to do it. It'll make for a better song. I'll never surrender Skyrim into the hands of a corrupt and dying empire. The rebellion is over. Ulfric Stormcloak is dead. As you wish. As you wish. This moment, we three will be immortalized in song. Well, Dragonborn, what do you say? Do you want the honor? Dragonborn, here. Use my sword to do it. This moment will be immortalized in song. Make it a good kill. With me, you kill Skyrim's last hope. Mark my words, you'll all be serving Elven Masters soon. And know then, that I would have stopped them. By the gods, stop toying with me and do it. Now then, the men will expect a speech. Will you stand by my side? I wish to honor you, Dragonborn, and the truest of Stormcloaks. How'd I do? Stormblade, I want you to have my sword, a token of my appreciation. The men will expect a speech. Will you stand by my side? I wish to honor you, Dragonborn, and the truest of Stormcloaks. Oh, why is that? On the contrary, you exceed the rest. But I will honor your request. The gods know of your victories, and they themselves will glory in your deeds. A man's heart is his own burden to bear, so I will honor your request, though it casts a bit of gloom on an otherwise glorious day. There's no shame in such thoughts. A man without doubts is a man without a conscience. But rest assured, we've won Skyrim's right to determine her own future, and for that, every Nord praises us. But I will heed your wishes. It's up to her, isn't it? I fear that will be the way of it. War always comes down to this, doesn't it? A single truth-laden moment. Come, at the very least, walk out with me. Very good. Come, the people await us. We sure showed them, huh? Thanks for your part in all that. Good job out there. Glad you were with us. Thanks. Couldn't have done that without you. Get over to the capital. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Markarth. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Morthal. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Dawnstar. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Winterhold. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Riften. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Windhelm. We're mounting our final attack. Get down there and join Galmar on the front line. Get over to Falkreath. We're mounting our final attack. Get over to Whiterun. We're mounting our final attack. Our objective is the drawbridge. If we can find a way to drop it, the city will be ours. We now fight our way to Castle Dower, to cut the head off the Legion itself. And in that moment, the gods will look down and see Skyrim as she was meant to be, full of Nords who are mighty, powerful, and free. The walls of Markarth may be high, but their age will have created weakness or secret entrances. Find them! They have barricades to block us, but we'll tear through them, and the Imperials behind them. Beyond that are 2 exterior gates. Find a way to open them, and we can take this city! Everyone on me! Let's show these Imperials what we're made of! Ah! Ready now! Everyone, with me! For the sons and daughters of Skyrim! Ah! But no, we are farmers, we are craftsmen, we are sons and daughters of shopkeepers, maids, servants, and soldiers! We are the sons and daughters of Skyrim! On this day, our enemy will know the fullness of our determination, the true depth of our anger, and the exalted righteousness of our cause! What we do here today, we do for our country, for all the true Nords of Skyrim! Fear neither pain nor darkness, for Sovngarde awaits those who die with weapons in their hands and courage in their hearts! They say that our cause is false, that we are nothing more than thieves, thugs, and murderers! We come to this moment carried by the sacrifices and courage of our fellows, those who have fallen, those still bearing the shields to our right. And we have come this far because our cause is true, because we fight as one, and because our hearts are bursting with anger! The gods are watching! The spirits of our ancestors are stirring! And men, under suns yet to dawn, will be transformed by what we do here today. They'll have barricades set. Destroy them quickly. Keep pressing forward. This is it, men. It's time to make this city ours. The approach to Riften is guarded by watchtowers. They will be full of archers. Move fast. Stay low. All that remains then is the exterior gate. Find a way through to open it, and the city will be ours. Everyone on me. Let's show these Imperial milk drinkers what true Nords look like. Ah! Whiterun's walls are tall, but they are old and crumbling like the Empire whose legion lines them. They'll have set barricades to slow us down. Destroy them quickly. and take out the archers in the tower along the way. The faster we take them out, the faster we can claim this city as ours! This is it, men! I'm fairly sure that the dragons don't care about our matters one way or the other. I'm not saying it wouldn't be useful, but there are better uses of our resources right now. Well, that much is good. Let's finish this first war before starting the next one, eh? What's the current spirit among the Dark Elves? Is there any news from High Rock? Let me know if you hear anything more substantial. I'm still not sure I understand what you're asking. Blasted Dark Elves. I don't suppose you could tell them that I presently have larger concerns, such as all of Skyrim. I'll think on this, but I make no promises. A good point, old friend. I don't care if she can find a living dwarf. I can't have her stirring up trouble. We have enough problems as it is. I'm diverting Garn Hadring's men to join him. Calm yourself, Galmar. Save it for the battlefield. We can't march on Solitude, not yet. One thing at a time. It's working, Galmar. Our patience has won us friends and allies, and our armies are systematically taking care of the rest. And you, Yorleaf? I suppose we shouldn't be surprised. They've never had many problems with the Empire. Carry on, Lonely Gale, and loosen yourself a bit. Captain, I've been receiving complaints about this Giordano woman. It will work if we can pull Haran's men from the south and find a bit of luck. I'm not seeking advice right now, friend. Just send the message. Galmar thinks we should double our men in the Reach. See that you do. I will not let Windhelm descend into chaos over a few overactive imaginations. And I suppose the Cruel Seas would be just the clan to provide ships and men. But you're able to see the hole in the pots, and for that I'm grateful. Yorleaf, I want you to send a messenger to our western camps. But most of their supply routes come south from Cyrodiil. Regardless, it appears Skyrim must stand alone. Again, Talos protect you, friend. Well, that's good to know. I suggest you tell your people at the college to keep a tighter leash on their mages. Ah, so they finally sent someone to deal with that lunatic. Well, is it taken care of? Good. One less worry for my people. They live in seclusion near the top of the throat of the world, the great mountain of Skyrim. It's a great honor for them to summon you. They speak to very few. In fact, they hardly speak at all. They're masters of the way of the voice, of shouting. The old tales tell of dragonborn heroes who slew dragons and took their power. It seems those tales are true, with the dragons returning, and now a dragonborn appearing. Maybe the Greybeards know what it all means. It means you have the dragon blood. You have an inborn ability to use your voice the way dragons do. I studied with them when I was young. They taught me how to shout. The old dragonborn. The rules don't apply to you. You can shout the way dragons do, without training, through inborn instinct. They always hope to teach the dragonborn to respect the way of the voice as they do. They never fully succeed. You'll have to make your own decision. It's a beautiful philosophy, but outside the seclusion of High Hrothgar, I was never able to hold to it. Yes, although I rarely use my training. The Greybeards believe the voice should be used only for worship of Kinnereth. I have fallen from their strict teaching, but I still don't feel it should be used lightly. Not all of Arngir's lecturing was wasted, it seems. Yes, the oldest and most powerful, although he may not seem so. I doubt he's forgiven me for leaving, and for what he'd consider blasphemy. Using shouts for anything but worship of Kinnereth. Yes, they chose me when I was just a lad. It was a great honor, of course. I was to become a Greybeard myself. I spent almost 10 years at High Hrothgar, learning the way of the voice. Then the Great War came. I couldn't stand missing it. I often think about High Hrothgar. It's very disconnected from the troubles down here. But that's why I couldn't stay, and why I couldn't go back. I suppose the Greybeards care about Skyrim's troubles, in their way. But I needed to do something about it. I'm sure Arngir would call it one of my failings. I know more than most. I trained with the Greybeards at High Hrothgar when I was a boy. The way of the voice is an ancient, spiritual form of magic in which you project your vital essence into a thume. or shout. Most people would need to train for years before they could even attempt a single shout. The Dragonborn is different. You have an inborn ability to shout, the same way dragons are said to. I don't know where that dragon came from, but without it we'd all be a foot shorter and a lot less talkative. Good work. Between us and the dragon, not many Imperials will be getting out of Helgen alive today. We need to find our way out of here, and quickly. The dragon's determined to have this tower down by the sound of it. Ralof, let's get him unshackled. We need to get that door open, now! That dragon's going to have this tower down around our heads if we don't get moving. Get ready. Here they come. What about the gate? You there. See if you can get that door open. This is it, eh? Nobody else made it. So you managed to survive after all. The gods seem to favor you. Good enough for me. Come on, time's wasting. We've got to get moving while the dragon's keeping the Imperials busy. Find yourself a weapon and armor. The gods help those who help themselves, after all. That dragon isn't going to wait. Ralof, you're alive. Thank Talos. Up the stairs, quickly! We need to move, now! Well, friend, I'd ask you to join the rebellion, but I think we're all a bit busy staying alive. Move! Up the tower! Come on! Before the dragon brings down the whole tower! What are you waiting for? Up the stairs, now! Legends don't burn down villages. But remember, you're still oath-bound to our cause. Skyrim still waits to be free. Peace, Gulmar. You're Chief Talos Hunter? No. You insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? Vignar, we will do whatever I decide is in the best interests of Skyrim. Are we clear? You did the best you could, Dragonborn. But I've learned the hard way that these Imperials are best dealt with at sword point. I expected better from you, Dragonborn. I came here in good faith. And now it seems you help the Empire at every turn. Blocking Pale Pass would cut one of the main Imperial supply routes, and would leave Whiterun dangerously exposed. You should be pleased, Elisif. You've done well for yourself as the Empire's pet Jarl. But beware. The Empire's loyalty is fickle. They will tire of this war, and then I will be the one dictating terms to you. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding. If he's right about Alduin, we both have just as much to lose here, Tullius. Remember that. Shut up! I expected better from you, Dragonborn. I came here in good faith, despite your known Imperial sympathies. You're different from what I expected, Dragonborn. You treat us with respect, despite your known Imperial sympathies. Think hard about your loyalties, brother. I expected better from you. Think hard about your loyalties, sister. I expected better from you. Well done, brother. If you can hold these Imperials to their promises, we might be able to reach an agreement. Well done, sister. If you can hold these Imperials to their promises, we might be able to reach an agreement. Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue. You know exactly... No, not this time. We've taken it before. I'm only asking for what will be ours soon enough anyway. You're Chief Talos Hunter? Yes. Let's get down to it. No. We'll stay. Out of respect for the Dragonborn and our greybeard hosts. But she is to observe, nothing more. We are not negotiating with her. Is that clear? Do you hear that, Tullius? The blood of the innocent cries out for Wergild. And so the Empire runs roughshod over Skyrim. As usual. We want compensation for the massacre at Shor's Stone. You surrender Hjalmarch to us, and take Idgrod Ravencrone with you. Sorli the Builder will take over as Jarl of Morthal. You surrender Falkreath to us. Sidgeir steps down, and Dengir of Stun resumes the Jarlship. If we're not going to get Markarth, we need you to give us something. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Riften on these terms. I'm willing to let the Dragonborn be the judge of the fairness of my request. I shouldn't agree to terms that so blatantly favor the Empire. I have no choice, though, under the circumstances. But once Alduin is defeated, then it will be the Empire's turn. Remember, Evgir Unslad. You've dealt with us fairly so far. You've heard our demand. What say you? What say you, Dragonborn? You withdraw from the Pale, and allow Jarl Skald the Elder to return to Dawnstar. We want Imperial forces to withdraw from Winterhold, and allow Jarl Kraldar to return from exile. Bah, this is a waste of time. I can see that we won't get better terms from this council. So be it. The Sons of Skyrim at least put the greater good above our own interests. These terms are not acceptable. You know that. Now we'll see if there's anything behind your talk of good faith. Now, back to the matter at hand. Pay no attention to him, a ponderous windbag, like most Imperial generals. The Dragonborn has spoken, Tullius. Markarth will be ours. By Talos, that's an excellent question. I hope you haven't forgotten that little detail. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get. It seems I have no choice but to let the Dragonborn decide. Although I'm starting to doubt your fairness. Don't hand me a mug of sheep's piss and call it mead. These terms are still not acceptable. Come on, Tullius. You have to give a little ground here. The dragons are a threat to us both. No. You insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce. Galmar, we will do whatever I decide is in the best interests of Skyrim. Are we clear? Hjalmarch would allow us to directly threaten the Imperial supply lines out of Solitude. Blocking Pale Pass would cut one of the main Imperial supply routes. And Whiterun is dangerously exposed with the enemy in Falkreath. The Empire is bringing in a lot of supplies through Dawnstar. Taking the Pale would stretch them pretty thin. I've never liked having the Imperials right on Windhelm's doorstep. Retaking Winterhold would help secure our supply lines. You haven't been able to take it back yet. Why should we give it up now? You've heard the man, Tullius. You heard what she said, Tullius. But I accepted Dragonborn's invitation to this council, and I at least will negotiate in good faith. Riften is off the table. The Empire barely has a toehold left in Skyrim. We don't need to pay such a high price for this truce. We've made you a fair offer. If you're really serious about this truce, you need to reconsider. Imperial promises are simply a way to lull you while they prepare a dagger for your back. First, let me be clear. The Sons of Skyrim know from bitter experience that talking to the Empire is a waste of time. Or worse. That's quite an opening demand, Tullius. Come on, Tullius. You can't seriously expect us to just hand over Riften at the negotiating table. This is our homeland, Tullius. All the blood spilled in this war is on your head. I know how this works, Tullius. I've learned the value of Imperial promises the hard way. Never again. You're losing this war, and you know it. Come on, Galmar. We have a lot of work to do. We want compensation for the massacre at Barley Dark Farm. We want compensation for the massacre at Half Moon Mill. We want compensation for the massacre at Haljarken. We want compensation for the massacre at Angaz Mill. We want compensation for the massacre at Lorius Farm. We want compensation for the massacre at Whistling Mine. We want compensation for the massacre at Iverstead. As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing. You did the best you could, brother. But I've learned the hard way that these Imperials are best dealt with at sword point. You did the best you could, sister. But I've learned the hard way that these Imperials are best dealt with at sword point. As for you, General Tullius, I see now that Galmar was right. Talking to the Empire is just as useless as ever. We're here to arrange a temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold to theirs. I have something to say first. Enough posturing, Tullius. If you came to talk, let's get on with it. We want compensation for the massacre at Riverwood. We want compensation for the massacre at Rorikstead. We want compensation for the massacre at Carthweston. We want compensation for the massacre at Old Roldan. We want compensation for the massacre at Kolskager Mine. We want compensation for the massacre at Stonehills. We want compensation for the massacre at Frost River Farm. We want compensation for the massacre at Granite Hill. We want compensation for the massacre at Hardwood Mill. We want compensation for the massacre at Sarathi Farm. Why would I give you that if I wouldn't give you Riften? What next, Tullius? Shall I just hand over all of Skyrim? If you think this war is nearly won, you're as deluded as your emperor when he signed away our freedom to the Thalmor. You can trample us underfoot, but we will rise again. If you think you can hold Markarth, you're as deluded as your emperor when he signed away our freedom to the Thalmor. If you think we'll just hand over Riften, you're as deluded as your emperor when he signed away our freedom to the Thalmor. Skyrim will never again bow to your false empire. Let's go, Galmar. I should have listened to you in the first place. Master Arngir, are you going to just let him continue to? You should be glad enough of a chance to lick your wounds at this point in the war. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture. We have no interest in negotiating with the Empire. It's only a matter of time before they are driven out of Skyrim. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim, we should get started. I never thought I'd ever willingly stand in the same room with Tullius again. At least not without a weapon in my hand. I'll come to your council, but I doubt any good will come of it. We're counting on you to make this all worthwhile. I sacrificed a lot here today for this plan of yours. It's good to be back in High Hrothgar after all these years. I'd just as soon get this over with. Well said. Maybe so, but bringing her here is a deliberate provocation. Tullius needs to know I won't be pushed around. By Ysmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do. By Ysmir's beard. The nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that we would sit down with that Thalmor bitch. I say she walks or we walk. I'm glad we agree on this. We're off to a good start. Maybe so. But bringing her here is a deliberate provocation. We need to show Tullius we won't be pushed around. It feels like a mistake to me. But I'll bow to your judgment on this. Fair enough. You claim to be neutral. But it seems that you actually favor the Empire. Still, not enough to outweigh the loss of Riften. The whole south of Eastmarch would be open to Imperial attack. In exchange for Riften, the jewel of Skyrim. Hardly. Whiterun seems like a better choice to me. From there, we can threaten to undermine the whole Imperial position. In exchange for Riften, the jewel of Skyrim. Hardly. How about the Reach? Gaining control of the silver mines would be invaluable. I'm glad you agree. I was starting to wonder whose side you are on here. Well, good. You favor the Empire less than I feared. Maybe we will be able to come to some agreement here, after all. I did ask. Although I'm beginning to wonder whose side you're really on. Still, fair enough. I thought you might be able to see past your Imperial loyalties in the interest of peace. But I guess not. Still, better than nothing, I guess. But Tullius will need to offer a lot more if he wants me to give up Riften without a fight. It has its advantages. I've never liked having the Empire purged on my doorstep, and Riften would be easy to hold. Yes, with Markarth in our hands, we'll be able to raid the Imperial supply lines out of Solitude. You're right. Tullius isn't in any position to ask for Riften. Not quite worth handing over Riften. But not a bad starting point. Just what I was thinking. The council was your idea, huh? So tell us, what do you think Riften is worth? I'm sure that will be a great comfort to the families of your comrades who died to free the land you just gave back to the Empire. You should think harder on your commitment to Skyrim's freedom next time you're deciding what's right. You made your decision. Now live with it. Very honorable, I'm sure. But you should not put your own honor above the freedom of Skyrim. You've disgraced yourself and our cause. You are no longer fit to be known as a son of Skyrim. You've disgraced yourself and our cause. You are no longer fit to be known as a daughter of Skyrim. Your actions here were a disgrace. You betrayed Skyrim at every turn. You disappointed me. You gave too much away, more than was necessary to secure this truce. You treat us fairly. Thank you. Spoken like a true son of Skyrim. Spoken like a true daughter of Skyrim. What? And you call yourself a son of Skyrim? Even the Dragonborn betrays Skyrim. What? And you call yourself a daughter of Skyrim? I think you're on the wrong side in this war, my friend. Yes, think carefully where your loyalties lie. Brother, I don't know why I expected even-handed treatment from you. Think carefully where your loyalties lie. Sister, I'm sorry to hear that. I thought your eyes had finally been opened to the Empire's true nature. Welcome, brother. I'm glad that your eyes have finally been opened to the Empire's true nature. Welcome, sister. I'm glad that your eyes have finally been opened to the Empire's true nature. Come see me in Windhelm when this is all done. There's always work for those willing to fight for Skyrim. The Empire showed its true colors today, Don't worry. I was once loyal to the Empire, too, before my eyes were opened. Come see me in Windhelm when this is all over, and I'll find a place for you. I think you may have joined up with the wrong side, Dragonborn. You showed yourself a true son of Skyrim here today. I think you may have joined up with the wrong side, Dragonborn. You showed yourself a true daughter of Skyrim here today. I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Good. Maybe he's realized he's beaten. The way things are going, we'll be knocking at the gates of Solitude itself before too long. Good. We still hold half of Skyrim despite everything the Empire could throw at us. I doubt the Empire has the stomach for much more bloodletting. Good. They've had their victories, but Tullius is no fool. The Empire can't afford to keep this up much longer. I can't agree to any peace council until I know Tullius will be there. The other Jarls could take that as a sign of weakness. Alduin, the World Eater of song and legend. If that's true, we're all doomed anyway. And if it isn't true, well, then the fight to free Skyrim goes on. Either way, I don't see the use in talking to the Empire. Alduin, the World Eater of song and legend. If that's true, well, it changes the situation, doesn't it? Even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the face of such a threat. We could use the time to bring in new recruits. Our losses have been heavy recently. You're right. Let Tullius be the one to insult the Greybeards by refusing their summons. Show up these Imperials for the foreigners they really are. He is weak, and no doubt knows it. He's no fool. He'll come, if only to give his troops a chance to refit. But you're right. Victory is within our grasp. We can afford to give the Empire one more chance to withdraw. You speak truly, Dragonborn. Sometimes the grubby business of politics clouds my eyes. Besides, it will be good to see High Hrothgar again. I don't need you to teach me how to play high politics in Skyrim. But you're right. There's nothing to be gained by refusing the Greybeard's request. Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs. It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? Beware. The World Eater waits within the mist. There is no escape. Courage is useless. Skyrim was betrayed. The blood of her sons spilled in doomed struggle against fate, and so in death too late. I learned the truth. Fed by war, so waxed the power of Alduin World Eater. Wisdom now useless, by God's jest, in this grim mist, together snared. Stormcloak and Imperial, we wander hopeless, waiting for succor. Turn back, before he finds you. All hail the Dragonborn! Praise him with all praise! All hail the Dragonborn! Praise her with all praise! The mist is gone, my mind is clear! For Skyrim, for sure, for Sovngarde's freedom! Down with you, damned worm! I'll fight and die if such fate is mine. Better to die with a blade in hand than feed his hunger, hopeless in the mist. No higher fate than fall in battle at Sovngarde's gates. A glorious end! Before I fall, you'll feel the bite of my sharp blade, as sure as my witness! The mist is gone. A glorious day. The World Eater is dead. The way is now clear. You saved us all. We will sing of you forever.